Okay, this video today is about what is a function. So we are learning this word right here, what makes a function. So you are used to seeing stuff like this, graphs, coordinates, tables. These little mappings create coordinates. The arrow from 0 to 3 means that the coordinate is 0, 3. But you are used to seeing all this stuff because we've been working with it lately. But today we're going to learn what actually makes a function a function. So all of these may or may not be a function on this page, and we're going to learn what that is, or if it is a function or not. Okay, so first we have ordering pairs, tables, and mapping. That is these things right here, ordered pairs, tables, and mapping. This is how we tell if it's a function from those. So first, I almost forgot to say this. The way that we figure out if it's a function or not is never repeat x's. So that is my way of remembering. Never repeat x's makes it a function. So whenever we have stuff that's pretty easy to see, like ordered pairs, tables, that has numbers, easy to see numbers, don't let the x values repeat. If we have stuff like graphs where it's not easy to see, we have to use a vertical line test. And here's what I mean by a vertical line test. If I drew a vertical line, which is going up and down right here through the 3, and I plotted a coordinate here, and maybe here, and way up here, and maybe down here, I'm going to write the coordinate for all of these. So this one right here is 3, 0. This one right here is 3, 2. This one is 3, 4. And this one down here is 3, negative 3. Now something you may notice about that line is all the x values repeat. The 3, the 3, the 3, the 3. And I just said over here to not let the x values repeat. So since the x values do repeat on this vertical line, this is not a function. So we use vertical lines on graphs to figure out if a function is a function or not. We need to see if the x's are repeating. So let's go over to this side. And I'm going to work with the graphs first, just because we just talked about how to do a vertical line test. So at the top it says, a vertical line test can be used to determine a graph, or determine if a graph represents a function. Then it says a vertical line test intersects, if a vertical line test intersects a graph at more than one spot, then it is a non-function, just like this one, because it repeats x's, if you were to actually make the coordinates. Okay. So let's look at these graphs, and I'm going to start drawing some vertical lines on these graphs to see whether or not these are functions. So whenever I draw a vertical line here, I only go through the stuff that they made once, and there is only once, and right there is only one time, 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 which means that this graph is good. It is a function. This graph, we need to do vertical lines, but all of a sudden I have this one vertical line that goes through what they drew twice. Because it repeats x's, because the vertical line hits more than once, it is not a function. And that is how the vertical line test works. Then you have some like this, some graphs that don't have just dots and actually have something drawn. If you take a vertical line and you can place it anywhere on your graph, you need to make sure that it only ever goes through once. And I'm just picking random spots to draw a vertical line because I just wanted to test everything, and I noticed that it always only ever crosses it once. So this one is good. It is a function. Down here, I have a triangle, it looks like. So I'm going to draw a vertical line anywhere, and all of a sudden I realize the very first one that I drew is going to cross twice, which means it's not a function since it crossed twice. All right, let's take a look at this one, the star. I can draw a vertical line anywhere I feel like, maybe right there, and it does cross way more than just one time. So I don't have to draw any other vertical lines because I know that it automatically fails. Not a function. And then this one, I go draw a vertical line here, and it only touches once, which is good. Let me try a few different places just to make sure that it only ever crosses one time, and it does. And my vertical lines aren't very pretty, but they're useful. This one is a function. Okay, let's move on to the number sides. Remember that I said that the x values cannot repeat. So it says in order for a relationship or a relation to be considered a function, each member of the domain, which is x, must be paired with only one member of the range, y. Therefore, if an x value repeats, then it is a non-function. X values cannot repeat. So let's look at the coordinates down here. We know that coordinates are labeled as x and then y, always. They're always x and then y. I'm going to highlight all the x values so it's a little bit easier for me to see them and not worry about the y values. So I have 0, 1, -2, -1, 3, and -1. Now you might notice that the -1 is listed twice, which is why this is not a function. It is not a function because the x's repeat. That is no good. So let's look at the next one. We have -1, 3, -2, -5, 4, and -4. Even though some of those are like negatives and positives, they are different numbers, which means that they never repeat, which is good. This is a function. Remember, we don't want our x values to repeat. The tables are a little bit more organized for us to where we don't even have to really figure out what a coordinate is. We only look at the x values. Looks like on this one I have -1, 1, 3, -5, and 2. Nothing repeats. This is good. This is a function. On number 4, I'm going to highlight the x values. I have -4, 2, 1, 2, and 4. I notice that the 2's repeat. This is a function. Or, my bad. Not a function. The 2's repeated. I said it in my brain, or I said it out loud, but I did the wrong thing. Since they repeat, that's no good. It is not a function. All right, mappings are a little bit harder. This side is always the x side, and this is always the y side. This is what it does. It really makes coordinates. So 0 to 3, that is a coordinate. It looks like this, 0, 3. 1 to 7, 2 to 7, and then 3 to 5. That is the coordinates that it is creating. I noticed that the zeros, or the x values, do not repeat. It goes 0, 1, 2, 3, and we're good. I do notice that the 7's repeat, but those are the y's. See how there's 2 arrows going to the 7? That's the y side. It does not matter. It does not matter. So this one is good. It is a function because the x's don't repeat. This one, without listing out the coordinates, I want you to know that this -5 goes to the 1. The -3 also goes to the 1, which it doesn't matter. That means we would have 2 different 1s. So since I have 2 different 1s, the y's repeat, but that does not matter, like I said. But I do notice this 6 down here is being given to the 8 and to the 2. It's going to look like this. 6, 2, and 6, 8, which means that our x's repeat, and it is not a function. And that is how you do functions. All right, thank you for my helpers. Y'all can say something.
You're welcome.